I'm signing an executive order today that will launch the Protecting Chicago initiative. Protecting Chicago will ensure that every Chicagoan knows their rights, that every single family is prepared, and every part of city government is directed to protect the people of Chicago from federal action.
Okay, so I recently saw that he had mentioned that there had been no, I think it might have been the governor, that there had been no calls from the president or the White House about sending troops into the state. So, Tyler, is this just showmanship? Is this just politics at its best?
Oh, it's definitely politics, but it's also something more. It's the Democrats are rushing to blame Trump for trying to bring order, and they're getting on the side. They're constantly claiming that Trump's actions are not about restoring order, about enforcing the law, about making sure that we actually have borders and immigration laws that matter, and trying to suggest that he's overreaching, that he's engaging in authoritarianism. Yeah. It's all a huge gaslighting effort, and I don't think it's going to work. We saw the voters not listen when they tried similar messages last November.
Well, we actually have, a Democrat mayor signing an order telling his officers not to work with federal officers. Mercy, how is that going to play? I mean, voters can't like that, right?
Well, what you're seeing is this, the tale of two cities. You're saying Washington, D.C.
It was the best of times here and the worst of times in Chicago.
Exactly. Muriel Bowser, where you're seeing the president, he's applauding her. He's basically saying, look at this. We've gotten carjackings down. We've gotten homicides down. It can work when you have a partnership with your local government.
Yes.
The problem is that you asked if this is politics or showmanship. Absolutely. For Brandon Johnson, for Pritzker, Pritzker is thinking about running for president, they want to appear like they're the strong person in their state, in their city. The reality is, though, that their tactics have failed. The vast majority of people in Chicago, they are dissatisfied with the status of safety within their community. You're talking about that for 13 consecutive years. Chicago is the city with the most murders of any other city. You cannot be satisfied. And let me tell you, there's the south side of Chicago, and there's, where the other side of Chicago as well. The people that are being impacted are many minorities who are stuck in this crossfire where you've seen so many fatalities happening in Chicago. And I think Brandon Johnson, like his tactics, are not working. The Democrats are losing on this messaging of saying, we're going to protect you. No, they are failing to protect the residents of their city.
Yeah. President Trump says D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser can be an example for other Democrats like Johnson and Pritzker to follow. Posting on Truth Social this morning, wow, Mayor Muriel Bowser of D.C. has become very popular because she worked with me and my great people in bringing crime down to virtually nothing in D.C. Her statements and actions were positive instead of others like Pritzker, Westmore, and Newscomb, and the 5% approval-rated mayor of Chicago who spend all of their time trying to justify violent crime, instead of working with us to completely eliminate it, which we have done in Washington, D.C., now a crime-free zone. Wouldn't it be nice to say that about Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, and even the crime-drenched city of Baltimore? Congratulations to Mayor Muriel Bowser, but don't go woke on us, D.C. is a giant victory that never has to end. I hope that's true. I hope it doesn't end, because it does feel safer. I was actually at the park with my daughter this weekend, and I saw the feds moving around, and there's something that feels reassuring about that. We know that the crime has decreased 44%, violent crime in the city, 44%. I also have to question sometimes when we see the Chicago officials coming out and saying, well, crime is down, crime is down. That's what they were saying here before all of this happened, and we found out that some of the numbers have been, fidgeted, right, Jason? So should we trust the crime data out of Chicago?
It's really weird. Non-corrupt city, by the way.
It's really strange that, it's like, don't trust these numbers unless they favor what I want them to say. So, for example, whether it's the Bureau of Labor Statistics, oh, no, don't trust those numbers. They're not real. Whether it's crime statistics, oh, don't trust those numbers until they favor us. So this is where I think, the problem is in America is that we have one side that, only trusts its numbers and another side that looks at the fact that you will change numbers in order to fit your narrative. And it's so whether violent crime has dropped, I can tell you people in D.C. aren't happy. You can see that in the streets of D.C. They're not happy. They're out protesting all the time.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.